Hey, did you know there are different ways you can introduce people? Why is that important? Because if you introduce people properly, then other people will introduce you properly. What do I mean by that? So there's a guy named Michael Mayer wrote a book called 7 Levels of Introductions or something. And so like the lowest level is like somebody calls you and says, hey, I need somebody to cut my grass. And you say, okay, call Johnny's Landscaping. And you give him the phone number. And then you see Johnny later and you say, hey, Johnny, did my friend call you? And Johnny says, no, I hadn't heard from your friend. Truth of the matter is they probably didn't call, or if they called, they didn't tell them that you told them to call. And that's where the problem is. You want people to know that you referred them, because if you refer a lot of people, then a lot of people will refer you. Reciprocity kicks in. So next time somebody calls you, don't do it that way. Don't do the lowest level. Do the highest level. The highest level of referral is where you go and you say, all right, I'm going to have the landscaper and you meet me for lunch, and I'm going to buy you lunch, and we're going to make this introduction. And when you do that, the reason why it's the best is because when you sit down at the table, you proceed to brag on the landscaper, and then you proceed to brag on your friend and why they need to know each other. That's the best way to introduce people. A lot of people won't do that because they don't like the time that it takes from their day, because they don't perceive that there's any value in it for them. And that's where they're wrong, because there's huge value in that. What you're doing is you're developing a deeper relationship with those two people, letting them know that you care, letting them know that you are the person in town who knows how to refer people and that you care about each one of them. That's what you should do. A lot of people won't do that. So what's the next best thing? What's the next level down? And I call it direct connect. I've got a whole chapter on that so that you can understand that. It's on my YouTube channel. It's in my book, A Few Big Ideas. Direct connect is when you do like a 3-way call. Somebody calls you and says, hey, I need a landscaper. You say, hang on a minute. You go to your phone, you call your landscaper and say, hey, I've got Sally on the other line. She needs a landscaper. I'm gonna hook you guys up. And you hook them up, and they get to talk for a second. So that's the same as the lunch. It's just not, you don't spend as much time with them, but they feel the value of you doing that. So if you haven't done direct connect, you need to go read that chapter or listen to that video. That's what you want to start doing. Because if you just give somebody a phone number, they're probably not going to tell them all the time that you referred them. And so you're losing the opportunity of this other person knowing that you care about them and that you think they're a rock star in their field. And I think that's important. We all want to feel like we're really good at what we do. So I love it when people call me and say, hey, Hunter told me to give you a call. He said you were the guy. And so that makes you feel good. And then they pre-sold you. And so therefore it's a lot easier to do deals that way when somebody's referred to you. So think about the different levels of way you can introduce somebody. Try to go have lunch or beer or coffee or whatever. I do that all the time. I try to get people together. It's like almost every morning I'm trying to hook 2 people up over a cup of coffee. I try to do that with lunch every day. Sometimes we do that with a beer or something in the afternoon. But if you do that, you build deeper relationships. Try it. Don't forget to try to spend time with people, because that's where the real value is. That's the depth of the relationship.